Hi guys. Okay, so today we're going to be doing lesson 11.4, angles and two-dimensional shapes. So the first thing that you're going to do is use a ruler to draw two different type of triangles, then two different rectangles. So I've already kind of done that here for us. I drew a triangle here that has a vertical line and a horizontal line and then a diagonal line. And then the way that this triangle is different is that it has two diagonal lines on the sides and then just a straight horizontal line at the bottom. Okay, for the rectangle, again, they're still both rectangles. They just look a little different. This one is wider because it's four dots going across, and then it's tall with six dots going up and down. Whereas this rectangle here is pretty long with 10 dots going across, and then but it's short with only three dots going up and down. So they're both rectangles. They're just one is longer than the other. Okay. So although both of these shapes look different, the triangles look different, they both have the same amount of sides and the same amount of vertices. So that doesn't change. There's still three sides to each of these triangles. Okay, and there's still three vertices as well. So I'm going to circle the vertices. All right, so just because it looks a little different, the attributes are still the same as far as the amount of sides and vertices. Same thing with the rectangle. Although the rectangles are different in length and height, they still have the same amount of sides, four sides. This one also has four sides, and they also each have four vertices. Okay, so for this particular lesson, we're going to talk about the relationship of sides and vertices and how they form an angle. So let's turn it over. Okay, so for model and draw, the definition of angle is when two sides of a shape meet, they form an angle. Okay, so I also would like to add that an angle is the space in between where the sides of a shape meet. So this space here that is within this little curve that they drew for you is where you measure the angle of two sides. Okay, so the biggest takeaway for this definition is that the angle is the space in between where two sides meet. Okay, in order to find an angle of a shape, you first have to find the sides and the vertex. So that's how those two are related in order to find an angle. Okay, so the shape here is a triangle and it has three angles. So wherever there's a vertex on a shape, there is also an angle. Because remember, you're measuring the space between the two sides where the vertex meets, or where the two sides meet is the vertex, and you're measuring the space in between, and that is where you measure an angle. So a shape will always have as many angles as it does vertices. So if this shape has three vertices, it also has three angles. Okay, so for share and show, we're going to circle the angles in each shape and write how many. So I also went through and I labeled the sides of this shape so I could identify it, and it's a pentagon because it has 5 sides. I would like you to do the same thing. So I know it's only asking you about the angles, but I think it's important to also recognize what type of shape it is and then see the relationship of angles to the type of shape. So this is the pentagon. And remember, the angles can be found wherever there's a vertex. So I'm going to circle all the vertices of this shape. Count them as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there are 5 angles on a pentagon. okay, on this pentagon. So let's look at the next shape. All right, so I'm going to count even though it's only asking me for angles, I'm going to count the sides first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, and a shape that has 6 sides is called a hexagon. So I'm also going to label the inside of my hexagon, just again so I can know the relationship of the amount of angles for this particular shape. All right, so now I'm going to circle the angles, which are also can be found by finding the vertices. So I'm going to circle them first and then go back and count them. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, there are 6 angles on the hexagon. All right, good. So I'm going to let you do number 3 and 4 on your own, and then as well as the rest of the worksheet, and we'll go over it when we meet this afternoon. All right, guys, have a great morning.